Yeah.
Welcome back.
We're back for another week. Enjoy the buzz.
Episode number dos.
I am Truant.
And I am Justin. We are your co-hosts.
And I know you missed us so much.
Mm-hmm. And we've been doing a little fun stuff behind the scenes. We got a sponsorship for our first episode, and we actually got a nice little partnership for the second one. Have you seen it?
We got, hit up by Masterclass. So,
yeah. Really, really honored for that. Again, we're hitting the ground running. We're making sure that we check all the boxes immediately off the bat. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and show you our masterclass.
Yeah, tune in. Starting a podcast can be an intimidating journey, but with the right group of people, it can be a very rewarding experience.
Everyone has something to say, but it's important to develop an organic following. That way they'll stick with you the entire journey.
Bro, we could buy followers. No, I'm looking at the page right now. We could buy 10,000 for $90. Bro, they all comment back. Yeah, get back to me. Alright, go.
Be an individual. Be unique. We're going to help you find your voice and separate yourself from the masses. Have you ever tried DMT before?
Dude, DMT is so fucking wild.
It is so crazy.
Last time I took it, I was singing this purple lady. I was just tripping balls.
I saw the purple lady too. Hey, Malcolm, can you pull it up?
Nah, I'm colorblind.
You think we can still hire Jamie?
Having the best quality equipment, makes the best product. You need to spend money in order to make money in this business.
Free audio software.
Hey, bro, where's the plug for this thing?
Huh?
This thing ain't got no cord on it.
Oh.
How are we supposed to record with no cord on it?
Shit. Might as well use our phones.
In the podcasting world, having the right team can take you very, very far. You want to be able to build the right environment to let creativity flow in and out without having to worry about people clashing. You want to make sure that everyone can bring their own strengths to the table. That way you can create the best product possible.
Hey bro, that's like the wrong color orange.
Bro, I'm colorblind. What do you expect?
Man, alright. That's what Justin gets for hiring you from fucking Craigslist, huh?
I'm still here.
Alright, now this is important. Crunch time is go time. This is where the weak will fail and the strong will prevail. That's not the right fucking font, Malcolm.
Okay, but I was just doing what you said I should do.
Dude, it's just a fucking font. How hard is it to do?
Okay,
man?
but I have to download millions
Y'all
of
supposed to be the creative ones. I'm supposed to be the talking guy, man.
Download the font we needed, Malcolm.
That's what I'm using!
You're using Comic Sans!
What do you expect from me? And that's all there is to it. Can't wait to see what you come up with our class.
Yeah! That was our newest sponsorship.
We were able to get a sponsor with Masterclass. We went in there, kind of a little worried since, we haven't been in the podcast game for too long. But hopefully y'all saw a very instructive video and can then start your own podcast off of that.
You know what we should include into
What
that?
should we include into that?
If you really want the bag, first of all, start off by making your own bag.
Yeah.
And then the bag will come.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking genius.
That's the way it works. You gotta
Speaking
do
of the
marketable
bag.
aspects.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. And this is a fun one.
This is a fun one. Ooh, let's start the show.
Hey, both on it. So, do you want to introduce a new segment that we have for this week?
So let's jump off. We're gonna talk about Man on the Moon 3. And if you
Yes.
don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know.
And if you know, you know. Welcome to our newest segment. But as you said, we're talking about Kid Cudi. Do you want to go first or should I go first on this one?
Okay, so we spoke about Kid Cudi maybe a day or two after the album came out, right?
Yeah.
And, the first thing that I told you was I love the album, but it's not a Man on the Moon 3 album. So I want to take a little bit of that back. Now that I'm re-listening to it a lot, it did not grab me like Man on the Moon 1 or 2. But I I see it as an incomplete Man on the Moon 3 album, and I feel like he needs to come correct with the deluxe. But the bones are there. I think it's pretty strong for a Kid Cudi album. He's just like, he's missing, like, hits. And he has the cool one.
That's exactly.
He has the cool one with Pop Smoke, which I really like. I could see that blowing up, but it doesn't have that appeal of some of his other hits, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's too comfortable with his new style. Man on the Moon 1 and 2, he was able to like diverge out a little bit, you know? Like even like with Revo Vev, you know, like brun dun 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 brun dun, and then you got Ashton Kutcher, you know, like there's so much like diversity in his projects where they do sound sonically the same, but there's a lot of differences. This one, it's definitely cohesive, but like the variety is just not there for me.
I feel like it's the safest.
It's the safest.
Because, I mean,
It's not as safe as Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying. That was too safe where it just sounded like...
But even then, I feel like at that point in his career, it was like...
He was bouncing back to form.
He was bouncing back into form, but at that point, like, that album, it is a really safe album in hindsight, but at that time, I felt like it was something that was really out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, especially after speeding Bullet to Heaven.
Yeah.
Like, he needed that... You know,
he needed something to come back to it, but like
yeah.
I feel like the part 3 or Man on the Moon 3, like it's hands down the weakest album for me.
The weakest Cudi album or of the series, the Man on the Moon series.
For sure, the series
yeah.
of the albums. I haven't, you know, there's a couple albums where I haven't given enough listening time, so
where would you put it?
Of Man, it's definitely last of Man on the Moon. You know, just so to make sure the internet doesn't come after me, I'm not going to give a list of the albums because I don't want that happening to me. I know it's terrifying. A lot of people are about music and whatnot.
I'll put it in the list.
Go for it.
First, Man on the Moon 2, then 1, then Indicud, and then I'm going to put Man on the Moon 3, and then I'm going to put Wizard, and then I can't decide whether I want to put Passion Pain or Speeding Bullet like last, because I do like both. I listened to those albums, so I don't want to like say that, you know, having them last is a bad thing. You know, it's like ranking like Kanye West albums. You know, like there's no bad album. It's just your preference. I don't want to touch that one yet. Well, okay, then his newest gospel album, that one I didn't really listen to too much. But yeah, like that's, I don't know. I like the other two. I just don't know how to place them. If anything, they're tied, but that's my order.
At least give top 3. For me, top 3, if we're including Indicud, then it's Man on the Moon Part 2.
I forgot Satellite Flight. I'm going to put Satellite Flight right before Wizard. I actually really like Satellite Flight. Okay. There's a lot of instrumental stuff that's going on to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of really cool little bits in there. Yeah. So if I have to give a top 3, it's going to be Man on the Moon Part 2.
Got it.
Then it's Indicud if we're including that one, because that's just such a solid
I'm really glad he put
collection.
number 2, though.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the best Cudi album. I love Man on the Moon 1. But like people be sleeping on 2.
Maniac.
Yeah.
That song alone, fucking so much better. It's like I'm saying.
I'm a maniac.
So top 3, Part 2 of Man on the Moon, then Indicud, and then Man on the Moon Part 1. That's my top 3 for Kid Cudi. Everything else, I still need to take time and organize.
Be a little cautious about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know like Man on the Moon 3, it's just not hitting me, man. Like I'm listening the entire way through the album, and the first half. Like, I was told or I read online that, like, Travis Scott had, like, a big influence on the first half. And I can tell. Because the first half feels like I'm listening to a fucking Travis album with Cudi as the vocal. That's a lot of the entire way through.
I mean, like, I don't know if it's, like, a Travis vibe because Cudi invented that vibe.
I know, and that's the thing that's so
Travis did perfect it.
He did perfect it, but I'm at a point now where hearing that tone, I think of Travis first before I think of Kid Cudi. Which is kind of blasphemous to say.
Cudi fucking bothered that.
Has done it so fucking well where like now that's the only thing I can think of. Like Astro World was just such an album that I put on repeat that like that sound sonically belongs to him in my brain.
Astro World or Man on the Moon 2?
Man on the Moon 2.
Alright. You got some sanity in you.
Cause like if I'm listening to Man on the Moon 3, like nothing about it stands out to me. The only song that stands out throughout the entirety of it is the one with Pop Smoke, and like I hear that song and it's such a safe song.
Tequila Sunrise is pretty baller too.
I don't know, dude. There's so much like the first half blends all together in my opinion.
A lot of it, the filler songs blend in a lot.
And it's like I hear the lyrics, and this is like one of the most vulnerable Cudi's being lyric wise. but from a sound perspective, it's so safe. There's nothing in it that I'm like, this is a standout track. Like, for example, Man on the Moon Part 2, like Maniac, is such a different track than everything else on there.
And it's crazy because there's so many songs I would put above Maniac.
Yeah,
you know?
but it's like
there's so much going on.
There's like bits and pieces in those albums where they stand out to you.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this fucking caught me, or like, whoa, that's like such a big shift in tone and whatnot. Where you have that once in this album, and that's the Pop Smoke song, and it's like it's such a like traditional Pop Smoke song, and like for this to be Man on the Moon 3. Like, I get it. It's hard with the anticipation, you know. Cyberpunk is dealing with that shit. You know, we'll never get a detox. I think we should never get a detox.
I agree with that, but at the same time, if detox is like finally announced, like I mean, it's been announced so many times, but if it gets announced, I'm still gonna listen to it.
I'm still gonna listen to it.
Yeah,
but it's like it's become one of these things where like
it's like this mythical thing where
you can't fucking touch it.
And like maybe I feel like Dre could have like touched detox if he stayed, you know, in that path the same way if Cudi stayed in line without like, you know, he had his little drug binger and, you know, fell off and started to experiment a bit. But if he stayed on that vibe and still fucked with all these like cool like hipster bands, like man, he had the energy for Man on the Moon 3 the same way Dre had the energy for Detox, you know. And I think once you wait too long, I think that's what ruins everything. Like Chinese Democracy, like the project got way bigger. Then I'm not sure if Axl Rose delivered when he was supposed to deliver. It would have been great, but after you wait and build up so much hype, like, and you know doubt yourself so much on your projects, like you're not gonna come correct.
Yeah, man.
And Man on the Moon 1 too. I'm sorry, but like they're like heavy features on that, even if they weren't labeled.
Yeah.
Like even if they weren't like labeled as features, there were so many cool rock bands and so many cool like instrumentals that he bit from like cool pop and music that I don't see that from Cudi anymore.
So I'm glad that you brought it up.
After Indica, that disappeared.
Because I also think like the features on Man on the Moon Part 3, and you know, we're just shitting on this back and forth, which, you know, realistically speaking, it is a good album.
Yeah.
It's a pleasant listen through the entire way through. But like for me,
I like it.
Hearing Man on the Moon 3, like I have a huge expectation.
Yeah.
It's like
sure.
if Lil Wayne drops another The Carter, or like
it took me like 2 or 3 days to start listening to it because I was a little like hesitant.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It's like there's also like with the features, like I was hitting at a little before, I feel like a lot of the features, there was times where I didn't know who was rapping or who was singing or who was humming. Like there was a lot of things in this album that I felt like just blended way too much. Like the song with Trippie Redd, I wasn't sure when they switched off. I'm shit you not, dude.
I was able to tell. That's the one that like I don't care for. I have like the least positive feelings about that one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest song on the album, and it was kind of whatever.
Bad either,
but
it
I
was
was saying, like,
yeah.
it's kind of just an example where like the features in that album, I felt like a lot of them blended together. The only one that really stood out was Pop Smoke, just because his voice is so distinct and how his flow, it's super similar from like most of his tracks. But like that's the only thing that I feel like stood out, and it's like it sucks.
All right, so let's run it back a little bit. You wanted to talk about Kanye, or you had some shit to talk about Kanye?
Oh, okay. No, are we really gonna start rating Kanye albums right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. This is dangerous territory.
It is.
Here.
I don't know if it's dangerous territory because he is like one of the most polarizing figures that, you know, everyone has so many different opinions of him. So I don't think like it's gonna be all that crazy, but there is a lot to talk about.
Okay. All right. So okay. All right. I guess we'll have to start ranking them since I've been told to do this.
Okay.
I'll let you go first. Fuck it.
You're gonna let me go
first. You know what? You bite this bullet. You be the speeding bullet for this one.
Speeding bullet to heaven. Okay, for sure. Number one, and I've been very loud about this. Yeezus is my number one favorite Kanye album, and people hate on it. Now it's a lot more accepted, but the same thing went on with 808 to now celebrating that, you know, and that was really slept on in the beginning. But all right, Yeezus being number one, Late Registration number two, College Dropout number three, Pablo number four. Cruel Winter, number 5. Yeah, it's starting to get a little tougher now.
Yeah. Maybe that's the reason why I don't want to touch it.
For sure. So I'm gonna leave it at 5. I think that's a solid 5.
Okay, all right, we'll do 5 then. If we're doing top 5, I gotta put Late Registration, College Dropout as top 2 in no particular order.
They're gonna put Watch the Throne like right up the top.
Oh no, it's probably some of the top 5. It's just because those albums were so fucking
Watch
great.
the Throne, like it's like I didn't put Watch the Throne or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in my top 5, and those are like phenomenal fucking albums. So
yeah. But people shit on Watch the Throne a little bit more than they should because Watch the Throne's a solid fucking
I didn't know
album.
anybody shit on
A lot of people do, a lot more than you would think. So okay, so top 2 for sure. Late Registration, College Dropout. Those were just such really big albums for me when they first came out. Just there was so much soulfulness, and as you mentioned, like I love a lot of East Coast vibes.
Yeah,
I love a lot of like groove. And,
but
like,
he had
swing.
a lot of like everything. Like it was well mixed.
It was such like great fucking albums. Then this is where it gets really difficult immediately off the bat, because in my head, I gotta put Pablo as number 3. Just because like that album,
it's so listenable.
It's
bro.
so listenable,
You could
and
play it like crazy.
And I feel like that album, you mentioned a lot, like where there's different songs and different albums that like that was a moment in your history.
Yeah.
And Pablo was like a moment in my history.
And the build up to Pablo was insane.
The build up was insane. Hearing Wolves for the first time, and then hearing Wolves get fucked up,
and then
getting it fixed, and then getting Frank on the track, and then getting Frank's own track.
Yeah, dude, like, that was the whole process.
That was, I think, the first album I really had as like an internet experience.
Like I never got so excited to watch SNL before.
Yeah, and it was such like it was so fucking wild and everything. It was, there was just so much behind Pablo. Where like if I think of a Kanye album, like that's one of the first ones that pop in my head, just because there's so much behind there.
Yeah.
So that would be number 3 for sure. Then it's a toss up between My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Watch the Throne is 4 and 5. Yeezus is like honorable mention. The only reason why I don't have it in the top 5 is because that album gets me so fucking aggro, dude. Like I love it. It's a great album. I've made
it gets me in the zone. I'm like,
I've made choreo to before, but like it's an album I gotta crave to listen to. It's not an album I could jump in, and that's why it's like really divergent from a lot of the other ones.
I could jump into it, but I see what you're saying. It's kind of like the same thing where like I like Grimes, you know, like there's like a feeling I get from it, but like the whole thing is just so well crafted. Like nothing in that album can be like removed or replaced.
That is very
like,
true.
That album, like it's
everything fits.
It's just so well balanced, you know. It's like when fucking Thanos like balanced the dagger on his finger, you know. Like that shit. Like everything about that album is just, to me, it's just flawless.
All right, so I'm curious now. We went from Kid Cudi to Kanye.
I mean, like it's not like they're two very different conversations.
No, they're not. But I'm saying,
yeah,
I want to kind of compare their discography. Do you think Man on the Moon 3 is going to pull out an 808 where at the time when it's released, people don't appreciate it, people aren't understanding what's going on, but over time people understand it, people get it better? Because I know 808,
not to the
you were
degree
fighting it.
Of 808. I was fighting for it.
Yeah,
I was fighting for it. Yeah, I don't think to the degree of 808, not at all. I think people will like it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But this was like made after Intergalactic, his new album that was supposed to come out this year with the Netflix show. Mm-hmm. So he already has a whole ass project that he's been sitting on, you know? So, and like it's big enough where each song has its own episode, it's fully animated. Like that's the one I'm waiting for. That's gonna be the big one to me.
Okay. So next question, I mean, it's probably my last question.
Okay.
I'm kind of leading it somewhere else. Did you think Cudi didn't rap enough on the album?
Okay, that's what's really bugging me about Cudi with the last couple albums. Like, we haven't had a hip-hop Cudi album since In the Cud. And In the Cud was a banger. And it was not, like, well-received when it first came out. But, like, when it settled a bit, like, many of Kanye's music, like, people ended up liking it a lot more after, like, hella listens. But In the Cud, I don't feel like it needed those re-listens. Like, In the Cud was, like, a fucking banger. It
was so heavy.
It was great. But yeah, that's the last we saw Cudi of that form. And like what he's doing now is something he's always been doing, but like now it's what he's only doing.
Yeah, it feels like that's kind of like the only thing. And the reason I want to bring this up is because like we've had this conversation with different rappers.
Yeah.
But I've been noticing like this is a trend that a lot of rappers are doing nowadays. Where like they are known for being really good rappers, they come to the game really heavy, they make
you gotta switch it up.
Classic albums.
But you also have to remember your fan base.
Yeah, and that's what I've been noticing. Like Bino did this. Tyler has done this. Now, Cudi's been doing this consistently.
When I saw Bino last year, he played like 2 or 3 rap songs of the entire concert, but didn't even finish them. They were just like parts of it, and the rest of it was the sing-songy stuff. And I love it. I do love it. But like, you know, I love a lot more going back to 2012, seeing him in short shorts with a goofy ass little Hawaiian shirt. You know, like I'm on my balling each and every day. You know, like that was like a vibe. You know.
And that's the thing. I feel like I can't get as hyped for these albums anymore.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like I'm losing that. I feel like, and then like, there's a lot of things that have a lot of hype behind them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting to the point now.
All the hype albums, even like Rolling Papers 2, I like it. I still re-listen to it now. You know, it's an older album in this era. That's older, you know. But like, I still listen to it heavy, but like, I don't know.
It's hard, dude.
They're losing their steam. The thing is, breaks. People take mad breaks. Like, look at Drake. He does not take no breaks. It's annoying hearing him on the radio all the time, but at the same time, like, he's not allowing himself to, like, digress even a little bit.
I mean, when you got, like, a team of fucking writers for you can dish out albums like nothing. But again, I just feel like that's a problem with me that I'm dealing with the hype right now. I feel like anything that gets hyped the fuck up, people, like, get so obsessed with it. And now it's getting to the point where the second I see somebody getting, like, overhyped, I'm like, nah, I gotta step back from it. I can't touch
Okay,
it.
let's move on to this. We're gonna do a Humans Go Hard. Scroll right now. Okay, Humans Go Hard, alright? So now, okay, let's talk about when they delivered the hype.
When they delivered the hype. Ooh, okay. When they delivered the hype, if we're gonna keep it in rap,
we don't have to keep it rap.
I'm gonna keep this one in particular, mainly because I was watching a video about it earlier.
Right.
I feel I gotta give it to Kendrick, because the reason why I want to bring this up is
he brought the hype, but the replayability I don't think it was there for me.
But here's the thing. I want to bring it back, not necessarily his most recent album, but Damn is a fucking phenomenal album, and that's actually the one I play more so out of all of them right now. But for me, it was After Control. Like, remember, Control was a while back.
Oh my god.
Kenny just comes up out of nowhere on another person's song, fucking goes off for like 6 minutes.
I think it was like this year where like Big Sean even released that one song. It was like, whoa, I'm taking back control. Like, that happened so long.
It's so long.
And Big Sean's still a little shook about it.
He's still a little shook. And
I'm
like,
taking back control.
Sean.
We know what you meant, son. We know what you meant. Sure, I don't see it on the Reddit blogs, but I know what you meant.
We know what you meant. And it's like, the thing is, Big Sean, like, you actively gave yourself the biggest L in your career.
Yeah.
And after fucking Kung Fu Kenny was featured on Control and dropped that monumentous fucking verse, he then releases To Pimp a Butterfly, one of the most critically acclaimed.
And those Black Friday tracks with J.
Black
Cole.
Friday tracks was amazing. Then immediately steps up after that. People are like, how can he like live up to Pimp a Butterfly?
Yeah.
Then drops the Hard Part 4. Takes shots at rappers again. Like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still fucking taking this turf. Then drops Damn after the Black Panther album. Black Panther album was insane. It was wild.
And
so
it was
designed.
a Disney paid for album with like hood cussing and shit in it. I was like, yeah.
It was TDE and the homies having fun on Disney's dollar.
Listen, minorities, we can all make it. We can all make it one day.
We can all make it. Kung Fu Kenny has paved the way for us. We got this.
We got this.
And so, like, let's say he does the Black Panther album, goes fucking wild with that, releases Damn, gets a Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer Kenny.
Yeah.
Pulitzer motherfucking Kenny. And if that's
when we saw him at the championship tour, even at Coachella, like, you had Pulitzer Kenny on marquee, bro.
He
that
walks
shit was so
out
crazy.
to that as the background, dude. That shit was wild.
That was wild.
Belief.
That was wild.
And it's like, anyone, J. Cole, his albums he releases, there was a lot of hype behind him. The albums didn't hit as much as they should have.
He's getting like more woke though.
But
he found like, you know, like a nice little like niche in Forest Hill Drive, and then he just tripled down on it too hard.
Yeah, but it's also like there was always bangers in his albums, but as a collective whole, like there's some tracks that, you know,
But it was like way different.
Yeah, it was
like,
way different.
Like earlier stuff, like Mr. Nice Watch isn't something he'll ever make again. You know,
never.
But like that's still something he'll fucking
for
play the
sure.
shit out of.
I think the person I think of who delivered on the hype and then exceeded it and then kept on building on it and then was like, nah, I could do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I gotta give it to Kung Fu Kid. I gotta give it to Kendrick. K. Dot just after Control, the amount of hype behind that man was like a divine level, and he just keeps on just surprising every single person every time an album drops, every performance.
Yeah, that's why I don't like mind waiting on him.
Yeah.
And I don't like a lot of people on TD don't have that same excuse. Like my boy Q. I love Q. He's my number one artist on Spotify. He's like my favorite artist since forever. You know, I've seen him like 8 times at least.
Yeah, he's
like
my most watched live performer.
Yeah, definitely. But like he is like taking way too much time. Like Crash Talk to me, it was a masterpiece.
It was really
but it didn't hit the way his other like albums were hitting, you know. And like I get, you know, he has a daughter now. He has this new like golf hobby going on. But like, bro, come correct, bro. You're gonna end up like Ab-Soul. I'm sorry. I love Ab-Soul.
Hashtag make Ab-Soul good.
Make Ab-Soul good again. Even J-Rock came like back for a fucking Grammy, bro.
J-Rock
like,
came back for a Grammy. Isaiah shows up on a feature and it becomes like next talk of the time.
Isaiah is like so slow to like drop shit, but he's the most talented. I think he's more talented lyrically than K. Dot.
Ooh.
I think he just doubts himself too much.
I mean, no. Actually, like Isaiah, I guess looks like a real life shit going on.
Yeah, he only has like 2 fucking EPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
K. Dot had 2 EPs. What? He had Section 80 and Overly Dedicated. So like where they're at, you know, I think Isaiah is better, you know, but Isaiah is not dropping.
When you put it that way, I can't wait for like a Good Kid, Mad City version of Isaiah Rashad.
That has to be the next one.
That has to be the next one. If you phrase it in that way, like that's like, yo, Zaywap will be fucking wild.
Yeah. Zaywap and his kid Babu. Our little sister is called Babu too, or that's what we call her. So I love that song.
Yeah, and it's ironic because me and her used to sing to a lot of his album all the time in the car too.
Our little sister, we like molded her. Like we have so much videos of her listening to thug shit, and she's just like a little child just dancing to him.
Gotta make sure to teach them young, man.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure that their rap game, their music game's on deck. So that's my Heroes Go Hard. What's yours? I'm curious. What do you believe is lived to the hype?
Pablo lived to the hype, bro. Pablo lived to the hype, and when it dropped, people were still hating on Pablo, but people would not stop talking about Pablo. The Pablo tour, that was amazing.
Yes.
We saw them at the T-Mobile stage in Vegas. Like, him.
That stage, just like with all the lights beaming down, like, he did ultralight beam.
And just like the hype of it, like he stole social media. He stole social media.
Twitter was his for a long time.
Twitter and everything was his for a long time. Like even like he had that notebook where everyone like wrote their name, you know, on the yellow notebook. Everyone was a part of the album. Like the build up to that was all hype, you know? And this is where like I even put it at like a level that's worthy enough to be called Humans Go Hard. The reason why is because he made it so that you could change your album after you release it.
Yeah.
You could fix it after you release it. And that's still something we're not doing. I mean, we do it with DLC updates, you know, look at every fucking video game, you know, but like...
That day 1 patch, that day 0 patch.
And they're never good, you know, like Marvel... Fucking Cyberpunk, come on, guys.
I haven't played either of those games quite yet.
I still play them often, but like I still have my fucking issues with them.
There's a reason why I'm waiting on Cyberpunk right now.
But yeah, like Pablo, not only he lived to the hype, but he broke fucking rules. He broke humongous rules that like no one ever like thought was possible.
I mean, do you remember like people were watching his fashion show just to hear little snippets of Pablo?
Everyone was lining up to their computer to watch that shit in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
bro.
like Madison Square Garden to watch a stream
of an album,
that's being released in a fashion show,
and it wasn't even released yet. You know, like he had to like still go back and fix it. Like that's like a testament of art, where you're like, because art is trial and error, but he did that in front of the world.
He hit the yay button hard.
He hit the yay button hard. That was Yeezy season,
hard,
bro. You know the pictures that came out of that fucking Madison Square Garden shit? Everyone like pushing cutters and everyone's dancing beside him. That shit was tight.
That shit was wild. I think just everything about the Pablo. That's like, again, like I just love those experiences were so big and they were so like
it was
impactful.
A moment. It was history.
And it's like now again, I'm curious for when that's gonna happen again. Yeah. I want that next spot.
What do you think, Malcolm?
Bro, I found some weird ass Legos. I want to build them.
All right. So I know we're talking about hype.
Yeah.
Talking about hype in hip hop and albums and whatnot. But if we're talking about hype, we gotta talk about the hype that we kind of have for our own selves.
Right.
And there's a drink that we get a lot of hype for. We get a lot of requests.
It looks like it's time for party host.
It's time for party host. Card. Alright, so as the person who's taught me how to make this drink.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been telling you to just go for it every single time. Because, you know, might as well. The eldest, you know, age before beauty.
It's called the Happy Meal. Okay, I guess a little bit of precursor. We developed this deadly fucking drink in a Palmdale party or Lancaster party, and that's like, I don't know, we mixed fucking Hawaiian Punch, Jolly Ranchers, and a shit ton of vodka, but like a lot of vodka. And you don't taste it. You do not taste anything. It tastes like a nice little summer virgin drink, but it fucking lays people out. You drink one, you sloppy. You drink two, it's done from there. You
forgot the most important ingredient though.
A hell of ice. You need so much fucking ice. Like people skimp on the ice. I have to tell them like fill it to the top. Like do not be cheap about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about that drink, you don't taste any alcohol. So everyone in the house is drinking it, and like in 30 minutes, everyone in the house is fucked, bro. Fucked. So yeah, tell me your stories about it.
So as I mentioned last week, I love that's always my role at every party is to get people as fucked up as possible, and it's just because I want people to have fun and enjoy themselves and like lay back and whatnot. So I've been told to make this drink a lot. I've been invited to parties just to make the drink.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know many people there.
People text me for like the recipe and everything. Like and they don't even invite me.
Yeah, it's like,
bro, I want to be included, bro.
I'll just be in the kitchen, I guess, making you guys drinks.
I'll bring the Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah. So it's funny that you mentioned like people want the recipe, because I swear every single time I make this, I'm like teaching like 2 or 3 people. This is how you make it. It's super fucking simple.
It's so simple.
It isn't brain science.
It's not.
Like, literally, just smash it all together. And I tell them every time, don't cheap buy it on the ice.
And everyone does. They don't get it.
It's like ice is $3.50 for like a big ass bag.
You pay extra 50 cents and you get lemon flavor, bro. Like,
exactly. You know, it's not something that you're gonna run out of if you prepare it correctly.
Yeah.
Anyhow, like I said, I get invited to a lot of places to be the bartender just for that drink alone.
Yeah.
I've had people who like, I don't drink, I don't like any hard alcohol, no beer, no wine, no alcohol.
I'm just a bitch, and a big ass bitch.
Or like they have different vices that they prefer to go to.
Nah,
so like, you know, I understand it. And then
I'm good on booze, guys. I got my heroin on me.
Oh shit! I don't know about that. I don't know what people you been hanging out with. I ain't got that motherfucker in my
I don't fuck with those kind of people.
So like I have people who are like, you know, I don't want to drink and whatnot, and they'll taste it and be like, yo, this is really good, and they'll take like 3 or 4 cups and they're fucking just out. But for me, I think my best story with it actually involves our producer.
Hey, Malcolm.
What are you doing out there, Malcolm?
Come say hi.
Should I tell the story or do you want to go off for this one?
Oh, you tell the story.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, you know what?
Hello.
I want to see Malcolm's expressions for this.
Yeah,
shit where I was
Malcolm,
sitting.
why don't you sit down? Why don't
I'll
you
be
sit
the
down?
producer now.
We'll explain the story. Okay, so like I said before, I get invited to a lot of parties, and I get requested to make this drink all the time. Malcolm knows this.
Yeah.
Me and Malcolm used to party a lot.
Kind of hard.
Kind of hard, lot. We had a
He's
lot.
still
of
looking away like. I don't.
Good old
I
days.
don't want to
We
hear
had,
this.
we had a lot of drunk escapades, and
Yeah, we
so one night we're at a friend's house, and there's a bunch of people there. When people are allowed to gather in places, that's not all the time anymore. Sad faces and whatnot. Good times we're talking about. So we'll move away from that. Anyhow, we're at this party, and we've already been drinking beforehand.
Oh yes, we did.
We killed a bottle of tequila between the two of us before we got there. As we opened the door, we bring the bottle of tequila. There's like
we brought the bottle of okay. We brought the bottle of tequila for them, but we ended up drinking it before we got there, so we had nothing to give.
So I was told, all right, well, you didn't bring anything, make drinks. Cool. Another one of our friends was making drinks that day. And the thing about this friend in particular, he makes really fucked up drinks. And I mean fucked up, as in they get you fucked
Think
up.
of Professor X making
Heavy-handed.
Not even heavy-handed. The hands, you don't even know where they come from.
It's like,
There are different things in there. He had like a hallucinogen in there from an African root.
yeah.
All the way from Africa. Why couldn't it be American roots? Like right here, you had to import African.
This wasn't
roots.
no ginseng. There wasn't no like beetroot.
It was straight up opium.
Bro, that should make you see 3 of the things you're seeing.
So it's me and this other friend that we're having, and so he's making his drink, and that's just deadly as fuck. I know already from previous experience, never touch any of his drinks. That's a no. I'm a pretty heavy drinker, but that's a no. I don't touch that shit. So then I'm making my drinks, and we're just passing cups back and forth, everyone's getting fucked up, everyone's having a good ass time. And Malcolm, do you want to explain what happened to you?
I had 2 cups. I drank 2 cups of whatever our friend made.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was good. It tastes like juice. It actually tasted like apple juice. We nicknamed it apple juice.
Very well thought out.
And
We had apple juice and a Happy Meal that tastes like Jolly Ranchers.
yeah, it was a great
And
night.
none of them taste like alcohol. But boy, did they fuck people up.
Yeah, I was called Black Jesus for a while because I started blacking out and reappearing in different places. I thought I was teleporting. Obviously, I wasn't teleporting because I was being dragged around everywhere. But I at some point had 2 people holding me from side to side, and I looked crucified because I was being dragged out.
It's like Jesus being dragged out, holding the cross and whatnot was what Malcolm was doing. Because he was passed out in the back at this point.
Malcolm was straight up Slink Jesus, bro.
He was.
Slink Johnson.
I mean, I squeezed oranges in my eyes at some point in the night. So yeah, I was messed. I was gone.
All
I
right,
was
can
fucked.
I explain that a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened was
Yeah.
someone brought oranges to him because vitamin C is good for you. It makes you feel better. It hopefully reinvigorates you. So one of our friends brings Malcolm 2 orange halves and hands it to him, like, here, eat this. It'll make you feel better. Instead, he grabs them and just squeezes it into his face.
Was he like, mis ojos?
No.
Oh.
He just squeezed into his face. Deadpan reaction. Didn't even fucking register. Like nothing fucking happened.
I'm telling you, that African root, it messes with you. I thought I was squeezing it into my mouth. It was my eyes.
So you got that shit wrong. You got fucked up.
Yeah.
But you had the heavier of the 2 drinks at that night.
I
So I'll
really
give you
did.
that one.
I did.
The rest of the people though were getting fucked up. We had at least 2-3 people throwing up.
Yes.
We had people disappearing in the middle of the night because they went for a walk and didn't return.
Nope.
I know how that feels. Not gonna talk about that right now. Another day, maybe. But in general, we had so many people fucked up. And like I said, I love getting people hella turned up at parties.
Messed up.
And if someone throws up, I feel like I did my job.
Yeah.
I feel like I did my job.
I agree with you there.
So
I agree
thank
with you there.
for sharing your half of the story, Malcolm.
Thanks.
But that was a great night.
That
We
was-
had a bunch of people having a great ass time, doing some ridiculous stuff. A whole bunch of people got turned up, and it was a good ass fucking time. And that's the whole point of the Happy Meal drink. It's supposed to make you happy. And like a Happy Meal, it ain't really good for you.
It made me a little too happy.
Yeah, it's comedy. Like, you know, I didn't come up with a name or anything. Like, and like I got it from this one chick, and she's like, "Yo, this belongs to everybody." And believe me, I shared it with everybody. And I asked like the homies, like, I'm still thinking of a name for it. I'll get back to you later. And he's like, "Bro, I got it." And I was like, nah, like I want it to be my thing. And he's like, "No, I got it. The Happy Meal." And I was like, wanted to be my thing. That's such a good ass name, damn it, you know. But you know, that's how that the name came to be. Honestly, for me, I don't remember any of my fucking stories.
You're not supposed to
I
with
know,
the fucking drink. That's,
I mean,
that's its whole design.
I think that already says so much about it, you know. And the nights I do remember are the nights where like I'm playing Pong, so I'm not really like drinking it. I'm making it, but I see everybody fucking flatlined on the staircase, flatlined outside. People sleeping like literally like outside on like a chair. Wake up in the morning, 10 bug bites on them, a bunch of mosquito bites, and like with the sunburn and shit like that. Like it lays people out.
Honestly, like I think the best part about the Happy Meal in general, was always the day after, like checking Snapchat and checking Instagram.
Yeah, those are
'Cause
exciting.
You see some like really funny shit, and you see some like really questionable moves that people made.
Yeah,
because they, you know, drunk texting kids. Never drunk text. Have a designated friend, take your phone away and hide it.
please.
It's not a
I
good
make
time.
this mistake so much. I'm
It's
like,
not fun.
like I haven't dated this chick in like 10 years. Like, what am I doing hitting her up, bro?
Have a
Like,
DDT.
Have a DDT.
yeah.
Designator.
Designator. Have a designator.
Have a designator.
Have a
We'll figure out
designated
the
drunk
other
texter.
two parts of that the acronym. We'll get back to you later on the
Yeah.
DDT.
Designator drunk texter.
There we go.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
You know, every novel needs an editor. Every drunk texter needs an editor. That's the way it works.
Yeah,
that's
I
the way.
agree. I agree. We
So-
need that app from that Google movie where like you have to do all those like the Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson movie.
Oh, where you have to like do a whole bunch of tasks.
yeah. Before you like text somebody, I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
I feel like that would made a lot of awkward conversations go away. I feel like there'd be less children in this world if that app existed.
I feel like a lot more people will still be talking to me if that app existed.
You know, luckily, you know, speaking of drunk texting, I'm never proud of whenever I drunk text and whatnot. But luckily, I have, you know what, let me think about this for a moment. I don't think I can 80% sure of certainty say I don't think I've had a situation where like it was
I can't say the same.
I lost a friend because
I
of
can't
it.
say the same. I don't think a lot of it's like not even like losing a friend. It's just like I really don't want to respond back to this person forever because I just feel so ashamed.
Oh yeah,
So a lot of
okay,
it,
all
like
right.
a lot of it happens like that, you know.
Yeah, all right. So if you're phrasing it that way, then yeah, there's definitely some conversations that I've had or like messages that I sent. And it's like I'm sorry for who I am as a person and who I was at that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it gets pretty rough. It gets pretty brutal.
I remember like my old Instagram, like I deleted it, but it was like I wish I didn't because it was so poppin'. But it's like all my posts were just like, "Oh, Stevie's out again." Like that's so surprising, you know? Like he's gonna go downhill quickly. And now look at me, we have a
luscious podcast. We have
luscious
sponsors.
podcast.
We're being asked to do masterclass episodes. You know, we're getting it done, man.
my mama's so proud of us.
We're doing really good. Just having 2 episodes. Like, how many people can you say have this dynamic on the second episode?
way more illustrious than Decent Merrill, bro.
Ooh, we
Fuck the BX, it's all about LA, boy. Let's
Whoa,
go.
All right, you know,
I'm just playing.
I want to go to New York at some point again.
I fuck with Decent Merrill. I apologize. The game, the brand is strong.
I don't want Puerto Ricans coming after you, man. That's a special type of breed. They
be like, puppy. Oh shit. Gosh, I know something's coming.
Man. If I hear a poppy in a fucking dark alley, I know I'm being
Run, homie,
I got some fucked up legs too. But at that point, if I hear that, I'm just like, you know what? I'm a young spry adult. I'm gonna get where I need to go.
I've been caught up in alleys where I had like thugs chasing me in Pacoima and shit before. I think I'll manage. I'll be okay.
We got that build where we could be fast runners if we need to.
Mm-hmm. I remember just jumping into like a random ass backyard with the whole homie, and there's like barking dogs, and I'm like, they're pit bulls. I'm like, get my ass eaten, get my ass shot, make a choice. Get my ass eaten is the preferable choice.
It's like Pops from fucking Friday. He's gonna get your ass, Mr. Postman. He's gonna get your ass.
Well, is he like, please, Mr. Dog? No, Mr. Dog. R.I.P. John Witherspoon, man.
R.I.P. John Witherspoon. R.I.P. to Pops, man. He was one of the greatest to do it.
Pops was the greatest, bro. And then we have a new season of Boondocks coming out.
We do. I really
That's
hope.
gonna be weird.
It's gonna be weird, but at the same time, I like the fact that his legacy is still pushing forward because he had such a great legacy, man.
That one bugged me. I don't really get bugged when people die or celebrities die, at least. But that one bugged me.
That one definitely did, but at least we still got like all those movies like Friday and stuff like that where we can watch back.
And then we had like Debo who just passed away recently.
Yeah, it sucks.
And like he was like really close friends with my mom when my mom was doing real estate. He was doing it too, and like I was in high school, bro, and he would like call me like, "Hey, you better go graze, I'm gonna fuck you up, alright?" Like he would punk on me on the phone. I'm like, all right, Debo, my bad. Okay, you can take my bike if you want to. I'll get good grades, I promise. You know,
dude, I cannot imagine buying a house from Debo. I really can't.
Right, bro? No, but like from what Madre was saying was like he was like almost never working. He would just show up to the office just to show up to the office because I guess he was bored. Like he would show up, and I guess because who he was, no one was telling him anything. He was able to continue paying for his seat. But like he just showed up to fuck around with them. Like
That's actually pretty cool.
I don't think our mom ever like witnessed him like attempt to sell one single house. Like he just showed up to fuck around, which is badass. He would call me like just like, fuck around with me. I was like, what the? Okay, Debo.
Like imagine how stressful situation that must be though. Like you're like iffy on like the price per house, and Debo, big ass fucking Debo, cockeyed fucking Debo, be looking at your ass being, oh, you gonna buy this house or what? I saw you did to Craig. I saw what Craig did to you. I know how I deal with this situation right now. That'd be a terrifying fucking sight, man.
Yeah, I would sign any fucking document. I would sign any fucking document.
Just hadn't fucking deal with my social security and everything and whatnot. Fucking buy whatever house you think I want. I'll take it. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Hands down. I don't need to deal with the details. Send me the contract. I'll sign whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
You an intimidating man.
I think we went in today though, bro.
We went in. There's a lot of different topics we talked about.
Yeah, we killed it, right? We're doing a lot better on this, right?
Hopefully we're doing a lot better. If so, leave us a comment, leave us a like. Let us know how we're doing.
Yes. We'll edit that out for the audio.
That's true. You know, audio listeners.
You get to miss out on the sketches. You get to miss out on Malcolm.
So, if you would like to listen or watch more of our content, or, you know, get some stuff that you may not get in the audio podcast, check out our YouTube channel. There's a lot of little fun bits that you won't get just by listening to it.
Feel free to make fan art about me, you know,
Yeah.
even the sexy ones. No shipping, though. That's weird. We're related.
I just ask no furry porn.
Yes.
I think that's a good way to end it.
See you next week.
See you next week.